Rain tapped softly on the metal roof of the old cabin deep in the forest. Miro had come here to escape, away from buzzing cities, cold apartments, and the noise of people who talked too much but said too little. Out here, surrounded by towering pines and silence, he thought he'd find peace. But that peace ended the night she arrived. It was just past midnight. He was tossing dry wood into the fire pit when the silence broke with a strange rustling, faster than an animal, lighter than a person. Then she stumbled out of the trees, glowing faintly in the moonlight, and collapsed. Miro blinked. He thought his mind was playing tricks on him. She looked like a woman, but not quite. Taller, with soft lavender skin that shimmered like morning mist, and hair that drifted behind her like it had a life of its own. Her eyes held stars, swirling, deep, not like anything human. She barely managed to whisper, "Please, help." Miro rushed to her side, unsure if she was real or a dream. She was trembling, holding her side where some kind of silvery blood leaked between her fingers. He didn't hesitate. Gently, he picked her up and carried her inside the cabin. Her skin was warm, not burning, but unnaturally soothing. It comforted him, even as his heart raced. Inside, he placed her on the old couch and covered her with a blanket. She was breathing fast but steady. Her body moved with each breath like it was connected to something beyond this world. He lit a lantern and sat beside her, unsure what to do next. She stirred. "You are not like them," she murmured, her voice like wind chimes, strange and beautiful. "I'm just a guy," Miro said. "Who are you?" She didn't answer right away. Instead, her hand moved to her arm, where a panel of silvery skin opened like a flower. A needle extended from beneath it. Before he could stop her, she reached up and jabbed it gently into his neck. He gasped. "What the hell?" She winced. "I'm sorry. It's the only way. You won't survive without it. They're coming." Then, her eyes closed, and she passed out. Miro staggered back, one hand at his neck where the needle had gone in. It didn't hurt, but a strange warmth spread down his chest, like something alive had entered his blood. He felt dizzy but alert, his heartbeat thudding in his ears. Who was she? What had she done to him? More importantly, what was coming? The fire crackled beside them. Outside, the wind whispered through the trees. Something had changed, and whatever it was, it had already begun. The storm outside had grown stronger. Wind howled through the trees, and rain slapped against the windows like desperate fingers. Miro sat near the fireplace, staring at the mysterious woman now resting on his couch. She hadn't moved since. She passed out, but her chest rose and fell in a slow, steady rhythm. He touched the spot on his neck where she'd injected him. It was warm, still pulsing faintly under his skin. His fingers tingled. His vision had changed too. Colors looked brighter. The shadows in the corners of the room didn't seem so dark anymore. And he could hear the rain. Not just hear it, but feel each drop hitting the roof like a heartbeat. "What did you put in me?" he whispered, more to himself than to her. Suddenly she stirred. Her eyes opened slowly, and the strange light in them returned. She blinked at him like she was remembering where she was. Then she sat up with a wince, holding her side again. "You're healing fast," Miro said quietly. Her voice came soft. "Because I had to. I've never had much time." He brought her a bowl of water. She accepted it, her long fingers brushing against his. There was something gentle about her, even if she came from a world he couldn't imagine. "My name is Narelle," she said, "and I am not supposed to be here." Miro sat across from her. "Well, Narelle, I think we passed not supposed to be here when you stuck a needle into my neck." She lowered her eyes. "That was necessary." You are changing now. Your body is adapting. If I hadn't, you'd have died from exposure to me. My kind carries energy your cells can't handle. But now you can. You'll start noticing more. Shifts. Miro frowned. Shifts? Like what? I feel weird, but also kind of amazing, like I can hear your heartbeat. She looked up sharply. You can already hear it? Miro nodded. It's soft, like music. Narelle stared at him, in a way that made him feel completely exposed. Not in a bad way, but like she could see things in him even he didn't know. Then something changed in her face. A softness, a sadness. They'll come soon, she whispered. Others like me, but not like me. They won't care about Earth or your people. They'll take what they want. Miro felt a chill crawl down his spine. So you're running from them? She looked into the fire, the flames dancing in her. Strange eyes. I escaped because I believed there was still good left. Something worth protecting. I didn't expect to find someone like you. Miro stood and paced, his mind buzzed with questions. What do they want? What do you want? I want. She paused, her voice softer now. I want to live, to feel, to not be used as a tool anymore. I was bred for war. But I don't want to be part of that. I want to know what warmth is, what love is. The room fell silent except for the fire. Miro looked at her, really looked. Her wounds, her eyes, her hands. They weren't just alien. They were tired, human almost, in their longing. I don't know what's happening to me, he admitted. But if you're in trouble, then you're not alone anymore. I'll help you. Narelle smiled, a tiny flicker at the edge of her lips. Something inside you is changing, Miro. But it's not just from me. It's something deeper. You don't even realize how rare you are. He sat beside her, close enough to feel her heat. Then help me understand. What am I becoming? She touched his chest lightly, and the warmth there grew. You're becoming more than human. And outside, the storm raged on. The sky turned pale gray by morning, but the storm hadn't fully passed. Rain still tapped at the windows, a slow rhythm like breath against glass. Miro stirred a pot of hot water for tea while glancing at Narelle, who now sat cross-legged on the floor, wrapped in a blanket. Her alien skin shimmered faintly in the low light, and her eyes tracked every movement he made. Not out of fear, but something closer to fascination. He handed her the steaming cup. You okay? She accepted it with both hands. I've never had this before. Warm water, flavored leaves. It's simple. Strange. Comforting. Miro smiled. That's tea for you. As they drank in silence, Miro tried to focus, but his body was restless. His senses were too sharp. He could hear the drip of rain far out in the woods. He could feel Narelle's heartbeat even when she didn't move. His skin tingled where their fingers had touched earlier. He broke the silence. You said this bond lets us feel each other, she nodded, looking into her cup. Well, I feel drawn to you. Not just emotionally, it's deeper, like gravity. She raised her gaze. That's the bond working. But there's something else too. You're responding. Faster than I expected. Your body is evolving. Miro's heart skipped. Evolving. Not like growing extra limbs or glowing eyes, she said with a soft laugh, her first real smile. More like becoming compatible with higher forms of life. You're stabilizing the energy I gave you. That shouldn't happen this fast. Unless what? She hesitated. Unless you were already open to me, in your soul. The way she said it made the room feel warmer. Miro leaned closer, whispering, Then maybe it's not just the bond doing this. Maybe it's you. Narelle looked away, her cheeks flushing with an iridescent glow. "Miro, no one's ever spoken to me like that. Back on my world, we don't love. We match, strategically, coldly. I've never wanted someone before." Their eyes met again, and the silence between them softened, thickened, like fog rolling over water. The air vibrated gently, as if their hearts had tuned to the same quiet frequency. Narelle placed her hand on his. It was warm, but underneath, that warmth was something electric, like stars humming beneath skin. Miro didn't pull away. "There's something else you should know," she whispered. "The bond doesn't just connect us, it protects. If you're ever in danger, I'll feel it. And if I'm hurt, I'll feel it too," he finished for her. She nodded. "This isn't just about survival anymore. It's becoming something sacred." He stared at her. This alien woman, this mystery with soft eyes and fierce grace, and felt something shift inside him again. Not pain, not confusion, just expansion. As if his heart was stretching to make space for her. Outside, a strange sound echoed faintly in the distance, a sharp, metallic pulse. Narelle's head jerked toward the window. "They're close," she said, voice tight. "They've tracked me." Miro stood immediately. "Then we get ready." "You don't understand," she said, grabbing his hand. "They won't just try to take me. They'll sense the bond. They'll come for you." "Two? Let them come," Miro said, locking eyes with her. "I'm not letting anyone take you." She stared at him for a moment, as if she couldn't believe those words were real. Then, slowly, she pressed her forehead to his, and they stayed, there, still and warm and connected. No words, no fear, just that soft, glowing link between two different beings who somehow found the same rhythm in a storm. Something inside them both was changing, and neither wanted to stop it. The wind howled louder as the sun vanished behind dark clouds again. A low hum, almost too low to hear, crept through the forest, a sound that didn't belong to Earth. Narelle stiffened. "They've entered the atmosphere," she whispered, standing slowly. 3 of them, maybe 4. Miro's heart began pounding, but not with fear, with readiness. He felt something in his bones now, a silent strength, humming just beneath his skin. He stepped beside Narelle and said, "What do we do?" "They'll search for energy signatures first," she said quickly, scanning the room. "Then they'll come physically. They don't know what you are now, not yet." "What am I now?" She turned to face him. "You're bonded to a being of the Vereen line. That makes you more than human. You're connected to a source of ancient power we keep hidden. You shouldn't be standing, but you are." Miro gave her a look. "I'm not leaving you." I wasn't going to ask. Their eyes met, charged with something more than urgency, something personal. The bond between them pulsed, stronger than ever. Miro felt like his veins held light instead of blood. They began fortifying the cabin. Narelle showed him how to seal the windows with a protective field drawn from the energy in her own body. When Miro touched the marks, she traced on the doorframe. The sigils pulsed, responding to him. "You shouldn't be able to do that," she whispered. "Maybe you gave me more than you meant to." She smiled faintly. "Maybe I wanted to." A sudden boom shook the trees outside. A ship had landed. Miro grabbed the handmade spear he kept for emergencies. It felt useless now, but it gave his hands something to do. Narelle raised her palm, and a soft glow danced along her fingertips. She was gathering energy. Then the door creaked open. A creature stepped in, tall and armored in pale grey metal. Its head turned sharply toward Narelle, then to Miro. "Unauthorized fusion," it hissed. "Human tissue unstable. Termination required." Miro stepped in front of her. "You'll have to go through me first." The creature raised a weapon, but before it could fire, Miro's hand moved on its own. A pulse of light exploded from his palm. The weapon shattered. The alien reeled back. "What?" Miro gasped, staring at his hand. "Did I do that?" "Yes," Narelle whispered, voice trembling. "You protected me. The bond gave you access to me, and I to you. We're stronger together now." Another alien crashed through the wall with a roar, claws swiping at Narelle. She dodged, barely, and Miro tackled the thing, surprising even himself. The bond surged, lending him power and speed. The world blurred as he moved, reacted, fought. The second alien fell with a grunt, knocked. Unconscious, Miro stood panting. His body felt hot, glowing from within. Narelle stared at him in awe. "You're becoming something new." "I just didn't want to lose you," he said, voice thick with emotion. She reached for him, hands cupping his face. "You won't. Not now. Not ever." They leaned in slowly, forehead to forehead again, breath mingling, but the ground trembled once more. One final enemy remained, larger than the rest. The leader. It stormed through the shattered doorway. Its voice was colder than death. "You dare bind with a lesser species?" "I didn't just bind," Narelle said fiercely. "I chose him, and he chose me." The leader aimed a dark, swirling weapon at them, ready to end it. But Miro stepped forward and took Narelle's hand. Their bond pulsed like a sun exploding between them. A brilliant shield flared out, repelling the blast. Then they struck back, together. A surge of light, fused from her energy and his determination, burst forth and threw the creature back into the forest, where it vanished with a scream. Silence returned. Miro fell to one knee, breathing hard. Narelle knelt beside him, holding him close. "You're not just surviving," she said softly. "You're becoming part of me, and I feel whole for the first time." He looked up into her glowing eyes. "Something inside me is changing, but I don't want it to stop." "Then let it happen," she whispered, her voice trembling with warmth. "Let us become something new, together." And for the first time, neither of them felt alone. Rain whispered against the leaves outside, softer now. The battle was over. Miro sat beside Narelle on the floor of the broken cabin, their hands still gently intertwined. Though the damage around them was real, cracked walls, scorched wood, smoldering fragments of alien steel, inside there was peace, a strange, glowing peace. "I feel calm," Miro murmured, eyes half closed. "That's the after effect of the bond," Narelle replied, her voice like velvet. "The connection settles once danger passes. Our energy. It's aligned now." He turned to her, brushing his thumb across the back of her hand. "Will I ever go back to normal?" She gave a gentle smile. "Do you want to?" He thought for a moment, then shook his head. "No, I like this. Not just the power, but you. The way I can feel what you feel. The way you look at me like I'm something more." Narelle's cheeks shimmered faintly again, that unique flush of hers. "You are more. You were before we bonded. I just see it now. You protected me, even when you didn't understand what you were becoming." He let out a soft breath. "I was scared, but not of them. I was scared of losing you." She leaned closer. "And I was scared of being known. Where I come from, emotions are hidden. Bonds are chosen for duty, not desire. But then I met you, a human who made me feel seen, wanted." Miro cupped her face gently. "You are wanted, Narelle. You're not a burden. You're the reason I'm still breathing." Tears welled in her silver eyes, and she let herself fall into him, wrapping her arms around his chest. "You're the reason I kept running," she whispered into his shoulder. "I didn't know why until now. It wasn't just to escape them. It was to find you. They stayed like that for a long while, holding each other amid the quiet ruin. The energy between them hummed like a song only they could hear, warm, electric, full of something bigger than either of them alone. After some time, Miro spoke again. What happens now? Nirel pulled back slightly, brushing a lock of hair from his face. We're still bonded. That can't be undone. It will only grow stronger. Do you have to go back to your world? I don't want to, she said quickly. They'll try to erase this, break it. I'd rather stay here, if you'll let me. He smiled, tired but genuine. This cabin's not much, but it's yours if you want it. I don't care about walls, she whispered. I care about you. They kissed for the first time, not out of desperation, but quiet need. A kiss that spoke of survival, trust, and something beginning. Her lips were warm and strange, tasting faintly of starlight. His hands cradled her like she was something precious, and she was. When they finally pulled apart, their bond pulsed softly between them. You still haven't told me exactly what you injected into me, Miro said, grinning. She giggled, a sound light and rare. It wasn't a drug. It was essence, a fragment of my being. My people only share it with those we trust or love. His eyes softened. So, which am I? She smiled, brushing her fingers along his jaw. You started as trust and became everything else. Miro kissed her again, slowly, as the night finally settled outside. The world around them was uncertain. The threat might return. But the bond they now shared, it would hold, it would grow, it would transform them. And even as stars hid behind clouds, something brighter glowed inside them. Love, reborn in a shattered cabin, alien and human, two hearts, now one.